Hello and welcome to Mostly Minnesota Music Podcast Edition. I'm Ann Tracy. I'm here with my co-host,
Heather Baker.
Yes, and we are here with Jonathan Seldat of Sela, Runn.
Hello.
Hello, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you. You've got a new album coming out for a long time.
Yep.
That is the name of the album. It seems like it was also a long time in the making, and it sounds like it's just a long time in the living. And it's to me, it seems like there's very much a storyline of maybe some love loss there.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time coming with the music. Some of these songs, I've just kind of brought back from like 7-8 years ago, and I just knew they're really good if they just could redo them, record them, kind of give them a life again. And then just songs that I've just been writing the past few years over the pandemic and previous, and kind of collaborated all together, and yeah, for a long time. So it's finally here.
Nice. What I like about it is that each song sounds very different, and your voice can sound very different in different songs, and that versatility is awesome.
Yeah, I know. I think I've enjoyed just playing around with my voice. And like any musician, I think everybody's just trying to find their voice. It takes time. I certainly didn't sound anything like I do now than I did, 10 years ago. But I enjoy the range. I enjoy playing around with it. Yeah.
I was surprised how, your range is so insanely wide, and it never sounds like it's being pushed, no matter where you are putting it towards, I guess. Is there sort of what do I want to say?
Comfort zone, or
where you are like, I like the sound here more so than other. I don't know. It's so crazy how different you can sound.
Yeah, like the first track on the album, When Push Comes to Shove, we did a video for that. My friend out in Austin did that. I mean, that for me, that's my comfort zone, which, I'm able to sing that really easily and comfortably. Like some of the other ones, like I'm Gone, I'm using more of my head voice. It's a little more airy. And that's not as comforting for me, but I think it just pushes me to, want to try it out, and, and finding that it's actually, I enjoy singing in both ranges. But that's kind of what I really liked about this album, because they do sound differently, but there's so much behind the songs that are so similar that do keep it, for me, just on the same level. That's why I enjoyed putting this album together.
I have another question about the range. When you're choosing if you're going to use your head voice or your more comfortable voice, is it due more towards an emotional instrument, or is it just whatever you think sounds cooler match? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, typically when I'm writing, if I hear a melody that I like, I write it down. Like, I know it's on, I know what key it is. I want to keep it in that melody. And then from there, I just see if my voice can work with it. If I have to adjust, then I will. But really, it's if I hear a melody on the guitar that I really like, then I'm able then to kind of incorporate where I want my voice at. But yeah, there's just certain chord progressions and things that I love, just because I know I'm really comfortable with that range, where it's at. So.
Can we talk a little bit about the song that you mentioned, When Push Comes to Shove? I like the video. It's very good. There is something so evocative about that song. It gives me so much emotion, and watching the video, I'm like, I don't even know if this is happy or sad, but I'm just overwhelmed with emotion for it.
Yeah, I think, lyrically, there is a sadness to it, because they're memories of, I'm sure anybody goes through a relationship, there's memories that you will never forget, but you wish you could, because they're just so powerful. And, it's like, God. And so for music, it was a way to almost kind of, put it at rest. So when I put it on with the song, I know there was just a lot of memories that were difficult for me, but I wanted it to have like a melody that was kind of more joyous, or, you know, that was powerful and that maybe spoke to other people. And I think that one in particular, I have a lot of people reach out to me and say, that one stuck. You know, it's almost as if they too said, hey, I've been there, you know, whatever you went through, I can hear it in the music. And so my hope is, you know, I portrayed that in that song. So yeah.
I was going to say, I feel that way through all the songs that you are very deep with emotion, but it's kind of interchangeable. It's not, oh yeah, this is really sad or this is really happy. It's just deep.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I think in the past, my mom would always say, do you write happy songs or can you write happy songs? And I'm like, I'm going to write what I want to write, regardless if people like it or not, you know, because that, for me, it's just, that is my release, is my meditation, you know, and if there's an audience for it, great, you know, then I'm hoping, there's the music for that. But everybody, I think, has been through a relationship, you know, it's kind of cliche, but you know, I think people can relate to it. So
tell your mom she knows the inside story. So we all interject our own stuff into your music there.
Yeah, for sure. I will. Yeah.
Well, and because we've all gone through it, we all kind of recognize that even at the saddest time, as you said, there's those memories you can't get rid of. But some of those memories that you can't get rid of were happy times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
sure.
it is a very, you know, and I think you kind of captured this too. Those happy times in some ways kind of get lifted to a whole new parallel and pushed out. I mean, it's just that push me, pull me of all that emotion. I think that you capture so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like for a long time, like that main track. I mean, I talk about summer days, you know, growing up and just being outside in the dark. You've had a few drinks, you get lost. Like, to me, yes, those are things I've longed for and missed, but man, those memories I'll hold dear to me, because those memories are the best.
I like that line. I'm lost and terribly unkind.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have experienced it myself, but it just is so real that you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, you stop to care. Or you stop caring, more or less, of what maybe your impact you might have on loved ones and family members, just simply trying to get yourself through the day into the next, you know, and you become terribly unkind. And I think that was a reflection where I knew something's got to change. You know, I'm overall a pretty jovial person, so it's like, this is not me. So I was like, ooh, that's a good line. I'll keep that in there. So yeah.
I was going to say, you have quite a few good lines here. I love the one, Dances with the Wild Ones is one of my favorite ones. And I love the beginning when you're saying, and sorry if I'm not getting it all right, but I think I have it right. Haunted by the dreams, I think I'm done with. Put it in the backyard with the others or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, when you're 6 years old, you start to wonder if this music, you know, the dream is the music. The dream is to be able to get the music across to people. And you just start to question whether or not, if it makes sense anymore, you know, if it hasn't happened yet, will it ever happen? But you just realize there's so much things that you might have to take care of in life before you can actually be in a place where that dream could come alive. So that song is really about, you know, is it just time to let this go, bury it, move on? But there's that push. It's like, no, I want to dance with the wild ones. Like, I want to be out there. I want to perform and play and keep rolling with the music. So.
I was wondering, you're making me laugh, because no, you shouldn't quit, because after I got your songs and listened to it, not jokingly, I listened to it 25 to 30 times. I just kept going and going and going. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a little bit embarrassed, but I love it so much that, yeah, please stop.
Okay. Appreciate it. That's good to hear. I'm glad you like it.
Yes. I was going to say another, yeah, you have a lot of lyrics that it feels very loud, but I think we're all connecting so much to what you're talking about. But I think it's my prayer, and it says, I don't know if it's right or wrong to let her go without a fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one hits home. Music has always been a form of prayer. I don't see myself as like a religious person, or when people ask you, are you religious? I'm like, well, what does that mean for anybody? I mean, I think we're all seeking some kind of form of spirituality, some universal connection, but music has always been a form of prayer. So I wanted to write something that when I'm playing it, I felt like I'm almost in a way saying a prayer or saying something for a particular individual. And that's always the question, do you continue to fight, or is the fight just done? And maybe maybe it doesn't make sense to fight anymore. But yeah, that one is I probably wrote that one at the most recent, I think was my prayer.
Ooh.
I love the slowness of it. I love your voice in that one. It's that, low and slow, just, and it feels like those days when you feel that way.
Yeah, I wrote it on a rainy day, and I remember it's like, wow, this day is it's just crawling by, and that's just kind of what I think came out. And nowadays, with the beauty of being able to bounce tracks around, I had a friend out in Vermont who does pedal steel guitar, and we were able to put that on it. I think that just gave it just a whole nother twist that I just fell in love with that song. So yeah.
That kind of leads to, I know that you've said that the pandemic was really a creative time for you. And you were just talking about how, at 36, you think about, where do I go with this? It sounds like in some ways the silver lining for the pandemic for you may have been that time that we all had to, whether we wanted to or not, had to take a pause. But how did that work out for you? I mean, what did that mean in your day-to-day life? And you talk about working with people in different states. How?
Yeah, I'm a teacher as well. So the crazy thing was when the pandemic hit, we immediately went to distance learning, and I was in a transition of moving out and moving down south to Marshall, the town I grew up in. And I mean, I don't know, there's a bittersweet to it, but I was able to be there and teach my kids while my school is obviously up here in Minneapolis. And I was able to continue to write and record while I was down there as well. I mean, yeah, it's unbelievable how all of this kind of played out. And here I am putting an album out here, at the end of it. It just blows my mind. But I think that's the beauty about it. If you continue just to believe and moving forward and knowing that it might take small steps. Today I might get one lyric down and just put the guitar down and be done. But that's it, so be it. But yeah, made it through.
That is some tenacity. So you teach and you've got kids at home and you put out an album.
Well, I don't have kids at home. I mean.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were teaching your own kids. Yeah.
No,
okay.
no.
That was going to say, holy, but I mean, but teaching and because I do have kids at home. That online school, that was a game changer. That was a game.
So you get it. Yeah,
Well, yeah, but I will, if I had to choose between being a teacher in the online school world, and I have taught, or being a parent, that's a tough one. But but you had a tough job. I mean, what a tough job to do that.
Yeah, I know. It was, for many of the teachers I knew, it was tough for everybody, and especially parents, so, but here we are. We made it through.
Well, you made it through, and you produced an album because, I can just tell you a lot more about Netflix is what I did. That's not quite true, but I applaud, as I said, the tenacity to be able to do that.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Did Marshall seep into any of your songs there?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think Marshall more or less is, it's just been such a comfort zone for me to, I think, give me a setting or an environment to write. So, I have a lot of good friends there that have, were supportive of me. I don't know more or less if it played into like the music end of it. But yeah, I mean, I had the space now there to just to be able to be out and about. Like I take the guitar out to some of the local parks out in the area. I got into those environments where I could just sit out and write. Where it was maybe 10 minutes away from my home there, where it's just a little different in Minneapolis, where it's got to really escape to be able to find those places. So yeah, there's a real beauty down in Southwest Minnesota that lots of times people don't really are aware of or know about unless you grew up there, or if you can get out and find those places. So
I asked because with the Dance with the Wild Ones, it was the trees you climbed as a kid or whatever, so that just came into my head when you were talking about it. What's influencing your music now? Because I saw you were writing the other morning, drinking some coffee, doing your thing. I'm like, what's on the agenda now?
Yeah, what's funny is, I have 3 songs that I'm working on starting, are fresh. They're, I'm excited, to go on to the next album. I put so much time in this one. It's almost like, okay, I'm ready for the next. Truthfully, I'm really not sure what is driving that. I mean, I know I'm in a new chapter. I'm in a new place of my own. So it's just, I kind of let things just come to me when they come. I'm not trying to force myself to sit down and write, but like if I hear a melody, I'll sing it. I'll get my phone out real quick. I'll sing it so I don't forget it. I'll set it down. 24 hours later, I'll come back and then I'll put chords to it. And so that's what I was doing there at breakfast one morning at the guitar. I always have a guitar in hand's reach. And I said, let's just try it, and in the past, I've tried so much to force writing. And I didn't want it to feel like a job. I didn't want it to feel like I have to do it. Oh, I should put a couple hours into writing today. And I'm not going to do that because I don't think the songs come out the way you want them to. And so right now, if I hear a tune, if I hear the music, then I'll sit down and write.
Do you usually write in first person, or is it all over the board? I guess.
It's funny. I have it's a dry erase board. So if the song I'm working on, I put it on that, and if I feel like I get that to a point, then I'll put it on paper, put in my writings, put that away. Yeah, I do. I typically do write in first person. This one song I'm writing, I'm almost taking it from a perspective of someone else, and I had watched this older lady, almost plant flowers outside. She had just a little patch of garden outside of her window. And it almost looked like she was putting that right outside of her window because she wanted a view, just to have some color outside. And it's like, wow, that's just really intriguing, taking the time to see that. And I started writing about it. And I don't know where it's going to go, but it's starting to sound good. So yeah.
That's someone taking control of their environment, man. In a way, we all should.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so your album is coming out sometime this month.
It should be out. My hope is if everything goes right, it gets approved, should be out this should be the first week of July here. So yeah, after the 4th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to do more videos? Because the video you did was, I feel like this should be a soundtrack.
Yeah. It's definitely feels like a movie. Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah, we're working on one right now. We were trying to put one together for the song I'm Gone. I just love that song so much. It's really just about it's having nothing in your account and all you got is guitar and a bag on your back. And I've been there, and I was trying to kind of capture that with this individual being on the road, writing and just trying to find dead end jobs. So right now we're looking at putting together a video for that. I have some footage that I'm excited about releasing when the album is out, just for the social media purposes. That one turned out really great. But yeah, I love doing videos. I think it's so much fun just to put the music to something people can watch. And I just feel like it just brings out a whole nother perspective of the song that, that I love to try to portray. So yeah, I won't stop trying to make videos and stuff. So
I think, because as I've said, I think that your music is brings out so many feelings, and Heather said as well that it's I mean this in the best way. Some songs are just very story forward, and some songs you just feel it at a different level. It really is just a more emotional level. So in some ways, the videos help. Okay, that helps me kind of follow the more linear story. So I think there are the multiple meanings of so much of what you're saying. As I said, that push me, pull me of, is it a happy moment? Is it not a happy moment?
yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, when push comes to shove, that took 6, 7, 8 months just to happen. We started out planning it early fall, and then things just changed. Pandemic hit. My friend just, out in Austin, just couldn't make time to do it. And literally, I get this email, and it's the video in spring. I had no idea he's sending it to me. Watched it with the music. I'm like, God, this is exactly what I was wanting to portray. Is this girl that them on this journey together, even if it's like for a weekend trip.
Mm-hmm.
Just the memories, the look of her face, looking back at the camera. Those are things that I was trying to write and in the music, and then he was able to do it with the video and being on the road and driving. It's always been something I've loved. So yeah, I was really happy with how that turned out.
That's amazing. Well, and it's fun to see how you're teaching that you are a teacher and you use a whiteboard for writing music. I love that. How else would you do it? I mean, I've worked in enough classrooms to know the whiteboard. Are there other ways that you think your teaching comes into your music, or your music comes into the teaching?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have endless amounts of writing utensils. So, all these, my whiteboard, that's something I got from work and stuff. I got another gigantic whiteboard that I will write on and use. I think that really came from Gregory Alan Eiskopf. I watched what he would do when he's trying to write an album, and just to see his space with just, sheets of paper that he puts on the wall, and he's just writing these things out, and he's okay with, throwing it away, get some new paper, put it up there. And I thought, man, that's genius. I think that's such a great idea to have it there in front of you. I just keep this on my table here so I can look at it. If I'm sitting down, having a cup of coffee, it's right there in front of me. So, yeah.
Do you take a picture before you erase it?
No.
No.
No, I don't.
No.
No, I'll write in my journal first.
Okay.
And then it's
okay.
there. Yeah. Yeah.
But are there things that you had said you transcribed what made it into the journal? Like there was an evaluation that went on there, but
I'm kind of a perfectionist. I hate like scribbles in my journals, big lines crossing out certain lines. So it's like, this is a great way to eliminate some of that. I'm a horrible speller. I mean, if anybody gets a hold of my journals, they'll find out like, wow, this guy can't spell. But I don't plan on getting rid of this journal anytime soon, so it should be all right.
That's fun.
What you said, some of the songs were 7, 8 years old. How did you transform them? Just with the instruments, or were you tweaking words, or what?
Yeah, lyrically,
Give me a little bit more.
Yeah, Push Comes to Shove, that one I wrote when I was out in Seattle. I went through a relationship, a breakup there. I was in LA, New York. I was going back and forth quite a bit, kind of chasing after a girl at the time. And then I was in Seattle, and I started writing that. When I reapproached that song, there were lyrics in it that at the time I just felt they could be said better, just could flow better. Other memories that I've had, maybe with other relationships, that I wanted to incorporate in that song that still to this day kind of stick out to me. So I think, so I mean, that way, those things changed. Like the melodies, you know, is the way I played it, the way I sing the song. That's been since I, you know, first wrote it, you know, back in what, 2013, 14. So that one's an oldie, and I love that song so much. That one's probably my favorite on the album right now. So yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Tell me, which I love the cover, but I know you've done a few other covers. Why did you choose Don't Look Back in Anger? Just to go with?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
I love Oasis. My best friend out in Brooklyn, Michael Polowitz, he's the one that did the electric guitar part on it. And when
he's good.
He's very good. And he's a huge Oasis fan as well. And we were just playing around in his apartment. And I knew, the funny thing is, you know, that song I knew, you know, in my head. And he says, just pick up the guitar and play something and I'll back you up on it. We played from start to finish that song. And he knew the solo and everything. I'm like, oh my God, we have to record this. So yeah, for the next 6 months, I was in Minneapolis or in Minnesota, and he was in New York, and we'd go back and forth, just, you know, going back with the tracks and making that one happen. So yeah, that was one I felt like if I do a cover, I gotta have that one on the album. So yeah.
See, yeah, in my head I was like, ooh, is he going with the theme of losing the love, but he's not looking back in anger? But yeah, it's so damn good that you had to put it on there.
Yeah. No, it's funny that you say that, because honestly, I didn't think of it that way. I just thought it just sounds good. It seemed to fit more of that kind of low down acoustic vibe of the song, which, you know, I had never kind of heard yet with Don't Look Back in Anger. So I said I got to have that on the album. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we get to enjoy the album and have the shows to see this live. Are you hoping at some point to twist your buddies' arms and tell them they gotta come perform a show or something with you?
Yeah. My friend Mike out in New York, he hates to fly, but I think I could convince him to come on out. But I had, you know, the band previously I had, you know, we opened up at 7th Street Entry a couple times. I'd love to get back there again and play. I love playing at that venue. You know, Amsterdam Bar in St. Paul's when we did as well. It's such a great venue. And it's just a lot of other ones I think around that I hadn't gotten around to yet. But yeah, my hope is if it's just myself, great, let's get out there and do it. But I'd like to get a full group together and and just, you know, give each song kind of the life it needs. There's just so much pieces, you know, that I put together with the piano and the guitars and bass and vocals, and I would love to have a full band backing me up for them. Yeah.
I'd like to know just a little bit more even about your musical history, about the previous band and how you find yourself doing this work now.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in band, in choir. I picked a guitar up. My dad had this old guitar he had built in Vietnam when he was serving. My dad's a veteran.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have it. I still use it. I record with it. I have no idea where this guitar is from or who made it or what it is, but it just has this really incredible sound to it. Huge crack, you know, right in the body of it, but I love it. I learned off of that, you know, pulling his songbooks out. Honestly, at the time, I felt like it'd impress these girls I was into, and so I would write songs just so like I'd invite them over and play for them. And I still have recordings of these songs too. It's a little embarrassing, but it's fun to look back at it. But I liked it that I was a trumpet player, and I liked this way that I could use my voice and guitar and sing, where the trumpet, you know, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So it just kind of went off from there. And, you know, I studied at St. John's, and I studied theology and pastoral ministry. And then I went out to New York and I fell in love with New York, and I fell in love with just these people I were around, and they were trying to do the same thing. People were getting by, with very minimal, money in their hand, and we're there to support each other and collaborate. And I think that love for the music and performing just kind of grew from that. So, yeah.
But I think, and I am also not super religious, but I went to St. Kate's, so I've heard my share of church music and that. But I think that it might be that some of that background lends into that ability to really tap into people's emotion.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I spent a year in the monastery there when I was out in New York. I did a volunteer program. I mean, that was kind of a discernment that I was kind of going through at the time too. I thought I was really intrigued by these individuals that could dedicate their life to study and prayer. I was like, that's amazing. With today's world and society, it's so easy just to get these fulfillments with the phone. And it was like, they didn't need that. And they just seemed the happiest as they could be. So some of the writings at the time, that for me was just really questioning what that part of my life, and I still in a sense kind of do, and still, you might hear some connections of almost me wanting to talk to, for me, God or whatever, asking them these questions, literally, why am I here? Why did you put me through this? Give me some understanding. So that does still certainly play a factor into it. Maybe not as much now, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're absolutely tapping into universal experiences. I think no matter what your religion, your spirituality, or that is, I think most of us at some point or another, why am I here? What else is here? Those sort of questions. And then the whole idea of, I won't say everyone, many people who've experienced love have also experienced the loss of love.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, I never want to stop in this kind of sense of journey of, spiritual journey. I think that to me, the music kind of lends me this opportunity to continue that, just to continue to almost seek out, what comes out when I'm playing and writing. And then that really makes me start to think, what sense of spiritual direction that I'm trying to go on or try to create in my life, even now. It's, trying to figure out how do we work together as a society after the pandemic. Like that was a big question that I was talking with my buddy about it. And like, even the spiritual sense of it, we're so distant. Like, I think the beauty about religion and theology is I think that really does bring people together. If you think church and those things, there's things about the church I don't like, but I just like this idea of coming together. How can we do that? That for me is a big question now.
That community, and that's right. That's exactly what we missed during the pandemic. It was, there's online community, and we had a radio show where we'd go into a studio before the pandemic, and then this is our plan B, and it's been great because we get to talk to people for a longer amount of time, and that's awesome. But it's a different sense of community when you're on that, and it works well if there are a few of you.
Yeah.
But it's hard to talk to the person next to you in a Zoom call if there are 100 of you.
Yeah. There's such a fear factor too. When it first started.
Yes.
It's like, if I step out my door, am I gonna get sick? Like, literally, it was like such a fear factor there. So I almost sensed like, what can I fall back on? That's always been just a foundation, and that's just been my spirituality. It's been that I can trust on that, and maybe connect with other people who might say, hey, what are you falling back upon? Like, this is a scary time. What's helping you out? And that's just kind of been my answer. Yeah.
Well, that and kind of working through it with music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And then that's when the writing really began, and then putting together these songs, and then thinking, wow, I might have something here for an album. So it's amazing how that all just kind of compiles into making you kind of get to where I'm at right now, about to release an album. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's Yeah, it's awesome, and it really does feel as how to like a complete story. It's like this is very, it is very cinematic music.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, for a long time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, for a long time. for a long time,
Yeah,
yes.
for a long
Well,
time.
you'll have to let us know when you are playing, and the album isn't released yet, but we're excited for other people to be able to hear it. So let us know when it is out again. For folks who are listening, how can they find you online?
I have my website, selarunn.com. I'll have my music up
I'll
on
say
there.
that's 2 N's, so SELRUNN.
.com. You got it. Yeah, selarunn.com. I'm on Instagram. I'll be posting, things on Facebook and Instagram, just letting the audience know, hey, I'll be playing at certain locations. But yeah, my hope is the album will be ready to go this week on Spotify and Amazon and YouTube and everything that people are streaming on these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because my mom's like, do I get a CD? Mom, people don't do CDs anymore. Yeah, I think if everything goes well, I'd love to put this press it on some vinyl. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So that would be kind of the next adventure too, is just get this on vinyl, because I love collecting records, and it'd be fun to have that on vinyl. So yeah.
Well, let us know when you do it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let you. Yeah, I'll give you the update.
And let us know when you're playing in the cities. I like Marshall, but it's a little far.
It's a couple hours. Yeah,
hours.
We'll plan for the Minneapolis metro area.
That's good. It is I could see where that part, coming from that part of the world, would, a lot of good fields out there, a lot of good farming.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't
good vibes? Yeah.
Is it Kemp's? Is Kemp's out there? I'm trying to think of what the food, Schwann's.
Oh, Schwann's ice cream. Good for you.
Schwann's.
You know your Marcia. Yeah.
I just couldn't. It's Kemp's Schwann's. It took me a second. I was close.
Yes, the yellow food trucks.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Schwann's. Right on.
Exactly. Jonathan, thank you for a lovely album, and thank you for taking time to tell us more about it and sharing it with us. We get a sneak preview, so we feel smarter than the rest of the world right now, so it's good. So
yeah, Ann and Heather, thank you for having me. It was wonderful speaking with you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thanks.